Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from the outskirts of the internet. It's the Gaming Saloon for July 12th, 2026. But your recipes, Baker 2448 and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hi.
Just so you folks know, we're getting the bad news out of the way first, and then we have fun things. The most fun things I could find. I know that last one is like questionable, but I'm like, it'll probably be stupid. Maybe I'll get a laugh out of it.
I mean, it'll be questionable regardless.
Look, not all of Netflix's attempts at adaptations can be One Piece. Because their One Piece adaptation's actually really good, and boy, are the rest of them not great. I have heard nothing but bad about their season 2 of Last Airbender, and I'm like, yeah, that was expected. They basically mangled season 2 of that show into something for their adaptation, and I'm like, what the fuck? You just put season 2 in a fucking blender and then poured it out into like 8 cups and said, this is our season 2. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, before we get to all the news and stuff, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Not really a whole lot.
Me neither. I spent the last week mainly just watching GDQ and not much else, and then the week before is I think the only thing of note I've done really is, hey, My Adventures with Superman started its 3rd season this couple weeks ago, so I've been watching that. That's a really good show. Metal Cardbots, which is a Korean like Transformers-esque series, wrapped up its third season, and it ended on a pretty hard cliffhanger that I don't know if we're getting like one more episode or if they're like, see you next year for season 4, but I'm like, this feels like they're following up with something, but they haven't said what yet, and it makes me a tinge nervous. But it's been a really good show. And I have not watched or started watching the new season of Dark Side of the Ring just because I haven't been in the mood to watch it. They have a 2-parter on TNA to start their season. It's also like 3 hours in total, so I have to sit down some time to watch it all. So yeah, I guess do we just get it over with?
Yeah, I guess we shall.
All right. So we'll start with dunking Microsoft in the bin, because this past week they have announced 3,200 layoffs currently, 1,600 of which are affecting Xbox. The rest are at Microsoft overall. Additionally, they're laying off another 1,600 people before the year's over. That is on the table. 4 of the studios that they have gobbled up are going elsewhere at the moment. So Double Fine and Compulsion are going independent. They have bought themselves out. They're going off on their own. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have been sold off. We don't know to who. Still. And it has been about a week. I don't know why we don't know who has them right now. I'm a little nervous about that. Because who would be buying them right now?
Yes.
And Arcane Leon is in negotiations to go somewhere, but because of French government policies and the like, that requires extensive negotiations to accomplish that, because, you know, France has labor laws that, you know, protect people. We don't. Azure Sharma had a big whole thing talking about this. One of the key things was apparently Xbox had 15 layers of management for shit, and they're trying to get that down to 3 or 4. And I just stare at that and go, how the fuck did you end up with 15 layers of management to start with? Why would you ever need 15 layers of management for any idea that you're trying to do, ever? That just is insane. You do not need that many people in charge of something. In layers, even.
But you need people to be in charge of people that are in charge of people.
I think Ashes Arma even confirmed that Game Pass was a bad idea. Which,
like the entire industry has.
Yeah. Nah, really?
Took them long enough.
Yeah. This is supposed to be a big reset for them to try to, like, right their course, and I go, we'll see about that. I don't think you saying that you have 1,600 layoffs in the can for the future means you're in a good place, or you're going in good places. Because I don't think anyone working at Xbox is going to feel comfortable about their job knowing that they could be cut tomorrow. not even as a possibility, no, as a certainty, there will be a day where you could be cut. So yeah, that's great news. You know what's even better news?
Anything besides this?
Sony has decided that they are no longer producing physical discs for new games starting in January 2028. This also comes alongside that they are closing the PS3 and the PSP eShop, or not eShops, PSN storefronts. I don't think this article catches it, but it's sometime in the next couple of years. But yeah, we'll note, reporting past this has said that basically the heads up of Sony, or the executives of Sony, decided on this and didn't tell anyone, and this blindsided everybody, and no one's happy about this. Not even within industry, people are happy about this. Because Sony has had to basically go, oh yeah, God of War Lawfully will be out before then because it will be on a disc, which dates that game. They've had to also tell partners, no, you can get discs of your currently released stuff. It's just your new stuff after that date that you won't get discs anymore from us. And I believe this also has backfired against them in a lawsuit they have going on against them about possibly monopolizing practices, considering if this goes through, how do you get a hold of PSN games if it's not, or PlayStation games if not on the PSN storefront?
Fun fact, you don't. Which means
Yep.
it's a monopoly.
Yep. Because we're going, well, isn't that Steam? Nope. You can get Steam codes from other locations. That's how Steam gets away with it. Because you have, like, what? Humble Bundle, GOG? Technically, does GOG do Steam codes?
Yeah. But here's,
I know, like,
here's the thing. That technically, from a technical stance, that does actually open the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really put much thought to it, but yeah.
I would just
all
take
games
it as
come through Steam regardless, because even those Steam codes get released from Valve.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that Valve is still in control of it, so I'm surprised that no one's really said anything there.
I would assume it's because the case of, Steam runs their sales, so its games are cheap all the time when necessary, and Steam doesn't fuck up, so no one has felt the need to hold them accountable for anything stupid like that.
Well, I mean, and Valve can't count to 3, so I mean.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the worst thing Steam has ever done, really? Like, their content moderations in terms of what goes on their storefronts, a bit fucky, from my understanding, but that doesn't feel as massive as an issue as what happens with Microsoft and Sony half the time, so it feels like they get away with it because people let them get away with it because, well, they could be doing worse, so it's fine. But yeah, Sony has done this. I believe from the Insomniac leak, it was stated that I think it was like 46% of people picked up Spider-Man 2 physically. And that seems to be basically the average for Sony games, is that 40 to 50% of their games are physically obtained.
Meaning that they're alienating half of their user base?
Yes. Which is the abhorrently stupid decision of all this. It's just like, it would be one thing if it was like, oh, you're doing this because you don't want your physical retailers to take an extra cut of the game. You want your cut of the game. game and you get more of a cut of a game when it's released on your storefront and all that. But like, half of your money comes from people buying the discs from the retailers. Not all of them are going to swap over. That's not how this works. You know what they're going to do? They're not going to buy your new box when it comes out. They're not going to buy your current box. They're just not going to buy shit from you anymore. Like, people are telling people to cancel their PSN subscription. I go, yeah, guess what's happened recently?
Exactly that.
They've started, and you can tell because they've started telling people, hey, resubscribe, we'll give you 50% off. They would not do that if they are not seeing their numbers dropping like fucking flies.
Mm-hmm.
That is a panic. Oh God, please, no, 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 no.
We didn't mean it. Come back.
And you know who I feel the worst for in this entire situation?
Who?
The devs at Sony.
Fair.
Because they got blindsided by this. They're gonna have to take the brunt of this because guess what? Guess what's at Comic-Con in like a few weeks?
What?
Not one, not two, but 3 different panels on Sony games. There's a panel for Wolverine, there's a panel for God of War Laufey, and there's a panel for Tokon. Guess what question's going to be asked a whole lot at those panels? And I can guarantee you there's nobody from Sony going to be at those panels. That's just going to be the devs, and they're just going to have to just tank it because they can't do shit about this. Yeah, this is an incredibly head-ass stupid decision from Sony that everyone is calling them out for because, yeah, no. Physical still has a place. Especially for, like, picking up things for cheaper that people would otherwise not purchase. Well, last bit of bad news. Ubisoft? Why? You just had to not lay people off, but you did. Because they apparently have laid off the team that just did that fancy new Black Flag remaster. Don't think we have an exact number of who got laid off, but there were layoffs at Ubisoft Barcelona. Also, this game has sold 2 million units already. Is there any wonder why no one wants to stay in the industry when they get laid off? Because it is unfortunately the saying true of make a bad game, get laid off. Make a good game, get laid off. Make anything, get laid off. It seems like you don't get laid off, you just don't make anything for long enough.
Yeah.
As long as you are not making a product, they have to keep you around because you'll make something eventually. They have to keep paying you to keep the lights on. So yeah, any other thoughts on all the bad news?
No.
Okay. We have better news. Now for fun news. We have more Lego Pokemon sets. And these have minifigures in 2 of them at least. So for $70, you get a little Munchlax. He's adorable. For $80, you can make a big red minifigure. Red the character, not red the color. For $110, get a big old Arcanine. And then in our 2 minifigure base sets for $130, you get Rayquaza, and it comes with Zinnia from the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire versions of those games. And then for 300, you get this big fancy Pokeball that opens up and has a display of Oak's Lab, and then a fight between Red and everyone's favorite Pokemon character, the Picnicker. You also get a little Pikachu and Eevee that are minifigure size. So, feeling any better about Lego Pokemon?
Man.
I like that we're finally seeing minifigure sets. I like that one of them, you know, that Rayquaza's minifigure scale, I would think. Rayquaza's big. That looks big enough. The big Pokeball, it's like, all right, Red, Professor Oak, makes sense. Picnicker? A random trainer class? Why is it not blue?
I mean, reasons.
Like you could have just tossed blue in there.
Nah.
Like blue, green, the Let's Go trainers that I have no idea what their default names are. Also weird that you do the Professor Oak setup, but the 2 minifigures scale Pokemon are Pikachu and Eevee. Not gonna throw the 3 starters in there? Those are more nitpicky things, but still. Otherwise, the big brick build stuff, I'm like, yeah, those look adorable. I'm not paying like that price for them. Especially not $300 for a big fancy display. And it's like, you know, you could have just made like a cutout of Oak's Lab, and that would probably have been half that price because it would have been half that piece count. Anyway, any other thoughts?
No.
All right. In other Lego news, would you like to play Donkey Kong?
Is it an actual playable or just a display? Because this looks like in the same vein as the Game Boys.
It's like, I think it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like a mix. Like the barrels do move, so you're gonna roll the barrels. But I don't know how functional past that it is. So it's like half display, half. You can kind of play 1-1. But yeah, there's not Martin, Donkey Kong, and Pauline, but not the one maybe from the current games.
Which one from the current games?
The adult one.
Okay.
Once we get into the entire conversation of, wait, what the hell is Pauline's deal now? Thanks, Bonanza. Granted, I feel like the answer is there. It's just buried in the line of dialogue, and they're being very facetious about it. It's how they go, well, that's not technically Donkey Kong. That's technically now Cranky Kong. What if we just said that the original Pauline is just her grandmother? I'm willing to bet that's what they're doing.
Yeah, more than likely.
We don't have a piece count in the price on this. This is just our first look at the box, basically. So, Donkey Kong. Last up, announced kind of out of nowhere. Netflix is working on a Persona series. So, okay. I forget who they said was on this. The person behind Star Trek Picard, 12 Monkeys, and 911 is our executive producer and writer. We have a Sega person as executive producer. They were on all 3 Sonic films as executive producer. I'm going to be honest with y'all, folks. The executive producer role is not as much as you think it would be, so that's basically none information. Anyone can get an executive producer role if they, like, pretend hard enough.
Very true.
No other details. I could only just sit here and go, what the fuck would this even be? I don't think they would adapt the games. That sounds like a stupid idea. Like, I feel like it's a Persona thing, but it's their own take on Persona. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know.
Like, I'm not expecting anything of good quality anyway, because the odds of that are low. But I'm also not expecting them to be like, oh yeah, we'll adapt Persona 5. I'm low. No, you won't. I will bet you're not gonna. But if you do, it's gonna turn out badly. But yeah, this is another thing added to the... I should really go through our articles and make a list of here's everything in active development that's a video game adaptation. Just so I can just throw that at people, be like, oh, you want to see how much is being currently worked on that's a video game adaptation? Here's the list. But I guess any other thoughts?
No.
Well, that's all our news, folks. I couldn't find happier news, so. But we've got releases. There's good stuff at the end. For one of us, at least. One of us won't be able to play it.
Oh. I think I know which one, though.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We'll go to... There it is. On the 15th, Densha Attack for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2. That is a... I forget it. I don't think it's rhythm-based, but it's kind of like a skateboarding kind of game, except you're skateboarding as a train. It sounds weird. It looks weird, but it looks good. So... on the 16th... Time Stranger DLC 1 comes out on Switch 2. Power Wash Simulator 2 Star Wars comes out for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2. On the... I got to put that down a couple. On the 21st, Super Meat Boy 3D comes out for PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. I liked what I saw of the TDQ run that they did of it. On the 23rd, Avatar Legends of the Fighting Game comes out for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch 2. Time Stranger DLC 2 comes out for Switch 2. 10 and 10 2, or Final Fantasy 10 and 10 2 HD Remaster comes out on Switch 2. Halo Campaign... I forgot to put this was on PlayStation 5. Halo campaign evolved premium edition comes out for PlayStation 5. Splatoon Raiders comes out for Switch 2. And that's basically it. I think you have to wait like 5 extra days, I think, for actually Campaign Evolved to come out. So we get to see how badly they botched this one in like 5 days after that.
How bad they botched Halo Campaign Recycled.
Yep. I can't wait for that to come.
I mean, they definitely reduced, reused, and recycled that game.
I can't wait for it to come out. And it's like, yep, we fucked up Halo 1. And I'm like, guys, you had one job. Don't fuck up Halo 1. And then you fucked up Halo 1.
They had one job that they managed to do right originally. So I'm waiting to watch how bad they screwed this up. Because anniversary was 343.
Okay, I was just like, wait, was anniversary 343? Sir, was that?
Yeah.
I thought that was Bungie's.
Nope. I'm pretty sure on that. I'm pretty sure on that. I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 343.
Yep.
Because that was the first thing that 343 did.
Right. I think I just saw a thing came out that was just like, oh yeah, the heads up at 343 are mismanaging Halo and mistreating their employees. And I go, I think anyone who's seen their history could have guessed that, unfortunately. When have they not bungled Halo to some reasonable degree?
Anniversary.
Are we sure?
C anniversary. Not 2 anniversary. C anniversary. and yeah. Because all they did was put a fresh coat of paint on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, dear God, I just thought of something. This technically is the second time we've gotten campaign involved.
Mm-hmm.
Anniversary was campaign involved. It was just the campaign. The multiplayer was tied into Reach.
Yep.
I forgot about that until just now, and then it's like, wait, yeah. It was using Reach's servers, so yeah. Yeah. How did no one realize that we've already done this?
Because people don't quite know how Halo games have turned out. Do you know how many people are like, just port Master Chief Collection to other platforms? And I go,
no.
That's not gonna work.
No.
They're not capable of that. Not because they couldn't do it. That's because there is no way that you're going to be able to do that and it not be a bungled mess again.
No, they can't do it. They've proven that twice. And yes, I am fully aware that it only came out on 2 platforms. They bungled it twice.
Exactly. They couldn't get that running on Xbox for months. They could not get that running on PC for months. If they try to put that on the PlayStation 5, you're not going to get a functional Master Chief Collection until basically the PS6 comes out.
Yeah, because for anyone that failed to remember that, on the Xbox release, they had to do a similar method to what they did on the PC. The only difference was they tried to release the whole thing at first, for it to fail, for them to then strip it back and then re-release everything little by little as they figured out the problems. PC, the only difference is they realized that that was a terrible decision to try to dump it all at once and decided to slowly port each of it piece by piece.
And they still fucked it up.
Not as bad, but yes. And I think the main reason they screwed it up is because they were trying to take Custom Edition that was already released on PC, give it a slap of new paint, and package that in the Master Chief Collection as the CEA version.
Mm-hmm.
Which wasn't going to work.
Yeah. So what we're saying is, even if they were to play it on PlayStation 5, you're only going to get, like, I don't know, 2. And then you have to, like, wait 6 months for them to put 3, and then 6 months for them to put 4, and then 6 months for them to put Reach. And then another 6 months for them to finally put 1 on there, because they don't want to cannibalize sales of this new CE. So, like, 1 has to be last on that port.
They wouldn't start with 2 anyhow.
What, would they start with 4 to really hammer home the stupidity of it?
That or Reach.
Yeah.
But probably 4, because Reach would be a little bit harder to get over. 4, I think, would at least be on an engine that would be somewhat compatible with PS5. Meaning it would probably be the first one to go.
Yeah, there is no scenario where like, with Halo that is good. I'm afraid.
Yeah. Thanks, not 343.
Yeah. What sucks is worse is, like, with the Xbox layoffs, I'm like, yeah, but somehow 343 didn't get hit. But you know who did get hit? id.
Everyone that's actually making games.
Yeah, because id got hit pretty badly to the point where, like, most of their people that are doing their engine are gone, which suggests that they don't want anything to do with that engine. Instead, they want to use UE5. And I'm like, yes, you know what a company trying to cut costs should do? Not use their tech that they own and they don't have to pay for. Instead, use an engine that they have to pay for.
Oh, that tracks.
That works, that runs worse than the thing that they own.
I mean, yeah, that tracks. That saves money.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does. They don't have to pay all the developers to fix the problems in their own engine. They can just gripe and complain that the engine that they're buying doesn't work properly.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit like how I just saw a thing today that was like, Paramount is considering moving their operations outside of California to not have to deal with California's laws or deal with a California lawsuit to prevent them from buying Warner Bros. And I'm like, you're willing to spend more money to not be in California anymore so that you don't get sued to stop you from spending money to buy a thing.
Yes.
Do you know how insane that sounds? What part of sunk cost?
No, it's perfectly sane, because if you spend twice as much to move everything as you would have just to fight the lawsuit to begin with, it makes sense.
What part of sunk cost fallacy do you not understand?
Look, it doesn't come out of the CEO's pocket. It comes out of everyone else at the bottoms losing their job.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
They also hit the Elder Scrolls Online people, which I'm like, are you going to get rid of Elder Scrolls Online? You mean that thing that's been passively, I guess, making you money and making money? Because I honestly don't know how much ESO makes.
Enough
it's been around for like
not need to be shut down.
Yeah. that's the show, folks. That's hopefully 2 weeks we'll have better stuff. God, please. I do not want another week like this last week of just like, yep, nope, here's the bin where Xbox and Sony go in. Because I feel like I need a picture of a bin with the two of them in it where Steam and Nintendo are on the outside and it's like one wrong move and you join them. Fucking try. Do something binable. People are not happy and like are absolutely ready to put your ass in the bin. They do not care who you are now. So yeah, that'll be in 2 weeks. But next week, it's our finale of Kyoryuger. I'll be happy we're done with the show, to be honest.
Agreed.
And y'all get to find out what we're doing next, because I'll spin the wheel live. And hopefully it's good. But between now and then, Thursday will be more CAD. Friday is Tak and the Power of Juju. And Saturday will be something.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube and Jackie's YouTube archive for this and all our other streams. Exclamation point social and Jackie's handles for social media. Exclamation point Discord and chat. This link. Drop by. Say hi. See you Thursday, folks.